Hello, Pacific League fans and fans-to-be. I'm Jimbo Bernicki, the newest member of the Pacific League team, and welcome to this year's edition of Making the Pitch. I interviewed some of the most die-hard fans of the Anglosphere from each of the Pacific League franchises and spoke with them about their experiences as fans in the world of Japanese baseball, all in an effort to help convince you to join their side. Welcome to Making the Pitch 2023. My guest today is Tokyo native Katsumi Ishibata, who is fortunate enough to live near Saitama, the home of the Pacific League's all-time winningest club, the Seibu Lions. Like our other international interview subjects, I just want to take a moment to thank Katsumi for doing today's interview in English, and hope you enjoy some of his insights and experiences into what it's like to be fortunate enough to live in the same area as his favorite Pacific League team. So, what did you think of last season for the Lions?
Last season was okay, I would say. Of course, we missed the title in the at the end of the season. But we are leading the Pacific League from like late August to early September. And that was to be honest, beyond our original expectation. Of course, we believe that that our team will win the season, but in reality, it was a little bit difficult at the beginning, but then, they recovered and, leading the league for some time. So overall, I was satisfied with the last year's performance.
No, there you go. Yeah, it was a pretty decent season. What would you say was your favorite moment from the season?
Of course, so at one point we are almost at the bottom of the of the league, but we went up to the top, so that was definitely one of the best moments. And also at the end of the season, the final, like in a few games, Lions, regained their energy again, and we won the games versus Rakuten Eagles to secure a place for the climax series. So that was definitely one of the best moment last year.
And who would you say is your favorite player on the team right now?
Sosuke Genda. As he's a shortstop. And he's a defense. It's just watching his
Unbelievable.
defense. Yeah, yeah. As every match it definitely he saved the team. Many times. And it just and also his batting is not bad. His average like 250 to 270. That was still okay.
Yeah.
And especially his contribution to the team, from both defense and offense. I think it's he definitely he's in this he's one of the probably the most important player for Lions.
For sure. Yeah. I think, when you look at his defense, he definitely makes up for he's not bad at offense, but like he more than makes up for it on the defensive side. And so how did you become a fan of the Lions and Japanese baseball in general?
Sure. So of course, I've been watching baseball since I was a kid. But to be honest, I didn't have a particular team to support. And I lived in outside Japan for quite some time. And after coming back to Japan 6 years ago, I started live in an area which is close to, say, Beruna Dome, the main stadium of Seibu Lions. And I took my kids to the stadium, and they became a big fan, together with me. So that's how I became a Lions fan. But Lions has definitely been, long history. It's been very strong especially in 80s to 90s. When I was a kid, and with lots of good players like Hatsuhiko Tsuji, who was the head coach until last year, and his play was definitely awesome. And of course, Lions had a very good like pitchers as well. And Kudo and Watanabe, and Watanabe is still he's a GM for Lions right now. Kudo, he moved to SoftBank and heading up the team, but that's okay. So Lions has in tradition, and it's been consistently showing good performance. And and recently, I moved to the area, to their hometown, close to their hometown. That's why I'm supporting Seibu Lions.
Okay, that's great. And just out of curiosity, when you didn't live in Japan, where were you?
I was in Hong Kong.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
but as you know, Hong Kong, most people who just watches soccer or football, they don't watch baseball. So, yeah.
Right. And what would you say is your favorite part of like the Seibu Lions culture as a team?
Culture wise, they always like I mean, rather than getting a good player from the outside Seibu Lions, they always they have a pretty good system to
Develop
yeah
players.
grow develop good
Hmm.
players. Unfortunately, many good players leave the team, but every time someone leaves, Lions always develop new star players. And that that is definitely one of the best culture. That one thing, and the second thing is, I think it's probably more recent culture, but many players there's we have so many nice guys and they're so honest. So if you look at Hotaka Yamakawa, who's the leader of the team right now, his facial expression is so too honest in a sense. When he's performing very well, his face is very bright,
Hmm.
and we can share the joy. And when he can't perform that well, his facial expression is really really go down
Hmm.
down. And that is of course good and bad, but as a fan, we can basically share their feeling, and so we can support them better even if in a tough time. So that
Yeah,
kind of honest culture is something I really like.
that's awesome. I like that a lot actually as an answer. And it reminds me, who's the guy who hit a home run for them today? Nakamura.
Yes,
Yeah,
Nakamura.
yeah,
Yeah,
big
yeah,
guy,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like, yeah, he just looks
Yes.
like such a happy guy.
Yeah. He's the previous star. I mean, he is already 40.
Hmm. Yeah, he's quite old.
Yeah, he's a legend for Lions, but yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I like him a lot. So yeah.
Well, there you go. All right, and so our final question, the focal
Mhm,
point of it all, the reason we are here today: why
mhm.
should new NPB fans support the Lions? It's time for you to make the pitch.
So Lions has long history, and the performance has been, if you look 10, 20 year, time horizon, the performance has been, pretty consistent. They always, for sometimes, they can't play well, um, but still, if you look at 10, 20 year time horizon, their performance has been consistent. They're always, in a position to win the title of the Pacific League, and of course and we're developing lots of good players, and those players actually supporting the Pacific League overall. And even if many players leave the team, like Asamura in Rakuten, he should be a Lions player. And Tomoya Mori, he's just recently moved to Oryx Buffaloes.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
And all the big players in the Pacific League, actually they grow in Seibu Lions. So Lions is definitely one of the key the key contributor for the Pacific League, and they always raise the overall level of the Pacific League. So we that's why I believe we should support Seibu Lions in the NPB.
Well, yeah, I think that's a fantastic answer. I never even thought about that, but they really are sort of like the growing ground of all the
Yeah,
Pacific
yeah,
League stars almost. Like they all
yeah.
come through the Lions. And yeah, I
Yes,
mean, I'm
yes.
pretty sure the Lions have the record for the most Pacific League titles and Japan titles from the Pacific League, right? Yeah, so I mean, they
Yeah,
really
yeah,
are
yeah.
just like the flagship franchise of the league.
Yes, yes, yeah.
And so, in closing, if you'd like to support the historical powerhouse of the Pacific League, a team with a rich history and culture based around player development over player acquisition, the Lions might be the team for you. I'd once again like to thank my guest Katsumi Ishibata immensely for his time and efforts in today's interview, and remind you as always to check out our other content on Pacific League TV. And as always in YouTube land, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on PLTV. Take care.